The sky above planet Zarian was dark purple. 2 suns had just set, and the stars were starting to shine. Huge alien buildings made of metal and glowing stone stood tall under the night sky. Alien students from across the galaxy were walking through the wide gates of Galaxis Prime University, the most advanced and powerful school in the universe. And then, a small human spaceship landed near the gates. Every alien stopped and turned to look. Out of the ship stepped a teenage boy, thin, short, and very clearly not from this world. His name was Aiden. He was 17 years old. He had brown hair, soft eyes, and looked confused, nervous, and scared. He was the first human ever to be invited to the alien university. Aiden walked slowly down the ramp, holding a small bag. Next to him stood creatures with 3 arms, glowing eyes, or tails longer. And their bodies, some aliens were made of gas. Some were taller than trees. But all of them were staring at him, this weak-looking boy who came from a planet no one took seriously. "Is that the human?" One alien whispered. "He's so small," said another. "Will he survive even one day here?" Aiden heard the whispers, but he didn't look up. He just walked forward, his heart beating fast. A voice played in his memory, his mother's voice. "Be brave, Aiden. Represent Earth with honor." He reached the main hall. It was over 200 feet high. Giant screens showed the welcome message in every known language. One message blinked in front of him. "Welcome, Aiden, Earth's first student. Room B451. He followed the signs. The hallways were full of strange sounds and glowing walls. Robotic birds flew in the air. A floating drone scanned his ID. "Human confirmed," the drone said in a robotic voice. "Low threat level, very low." Aiden sighed. In room B451, everything was too big for him. The bed was tall. The chair was wide. He climbed onto the bed like a child and sat silently. He opened his bag. Inside was a photo of his family, one book from Earth, and a small energy bar. Suddenly, the wall changed. A soft voice spoke. "First day of classes begins in 6 galactic hours. Good luck, human." He lay back and stared at the ceiling. "Why me?" he thought. "Why did they choose me to come here? I'm not special." Back on Earth, Aiden was smart, but not a genius. Quiet, but kind. He loved solving puzzles and reading books about alien life. He never thought he would live among them. But now, here he was, alone. The next morning, Aiden stood in front of the class hall. Alien students filled the large seats. Some had tentacles, others floated. The noise was loud and strange. Aiden sat in the smallest corner seat, hoping to be invisible, but he wasn't. All eyes were on him. The professor walked in. She was tall, blue, with 6 glowing eyes. "Welcome," she said. "I see we have a new species with us today. Stand, human." Aiden stood slowly. His hands were shaking. "Tell the class your name and your planet." "My name is Aiden. I'm from Earth," he said. A short silence, then quiet laughter. A big lizard-like alien muttered, "So weak. So soft." The professor raised a hand. "Silence. All species are equal here. Intelligence is the only power that matters." She wrote a puzzle on the screen. Symbols, numbers, and strange alien letters appeared. "No one has solved this logic. Puzzle in 500 years, she said. "Try it." Many aliens tried. One by one, they failed. Some became angry. Others gave up. Then, the professor looked at Aiden. "Human, would you try?" Aiden blinked. "Me? Yes, try." He stood, walked slowly to the screen, and looked at the puzzle. It was hard. But something clicked in his mind. He saw patterns. He remembered games he played on Earth. His fingers moved quickly. Beep. "Correct." The whole class gasped. Even the professor looked surprised. "Interesting," she whispered. "Very interesting." A tall alien girl with silver skin stared at Aiden with curiosity. Another with glowing green eyes whispered to her friend, "He's different. I want to know more." Aiden sat down again, still shaking. He didn't understand what just happened. Far above, in the control room, two alien professors watched the screen. "He solved the unsolvable," one said. The other nodded. "Just like the prophecy said, the human mind is the key." Asterisk it was. Not a school. It looked like one, with giant lecture halls, sleeping pods, labs, and libraries floating in zero gravity. But Galaxy's Prime University was something much older, much darker. And Aiden had no idea. The giant silver bell rang. It didn't ring with sound, it rang with thought. A strange pulse hit every student's mind, and they simply knew. Class was starting. Aiden grabbed his small tablet and walked into the main corridor. Hundreds of alien students floated, stomped, or glided to their classes. Some were on fire. Some had 6 legs. One was made entirely of crystal. And there he was, the only human, walking quietly in the middle of it all. "Move." "Softskin," growled a 4-armed beast, pushing past him. Aiden didn't answer. He had already learned one thing: don't talk back. He reached his first real class, Galactic Combat Theory. The words made his stomach twist. The classroom was a huge arena. Floating platforms moved in circles above a black pit. Weapons lined the walls, alien weapons, sharp and glowing. Humming with power, a robot voice welcomed them. "Welcome to survival training. Remember, only the smart survive, only the strong stay." Aiden's hands trembled. He looked around. Everyone had claws or armor or fire-breathing skills. He had homework skills. Then the instructor arrived. A 10-foot-tall lizard queen named Ziraxa. Her voice was like thunder. "You are all warriors in training. But today, let's test your instincts." She pointed at Aiden. "You, human, step forward." Aiden froze. "Me? Yes, you." She smiled, a dangerous smile. "You will face one of your classmates in a basic combat simulation. No weapons, no mercy." The aliens laughed. Some cheered. Aiden walked slowly to the center platform. His opponent? A creature made of metal and bones, with red glowing eyes. "Begin." The metal beast charged. Aiden ran. He didn't fight. He didn't attack. He just dodged, ducked, and used the environment. He jumped onto a tall platform and pressed buttons on his tablet, scanning, analyzing. He noticed a weakness. The enemy overheated when it ran too fast. So he lured it. Again and again. Until crash. The metal creature slipped and fell into the dark pit below. Silence. Then the robot voice spoke. "Match complete. Winner, human." Gasps filled the arena. Even Ziraxa raised one eye ridge. "You didn't fight, but you won." Aiden wiped sweat from his forehead. "I just thought differently." Later, in the dining hall, he sat alone. The food was strange, blue cubes that wiggled. He poked one with a spoon. A group of alien boys stared at him from across the room, angry, jealous. But across the room, a few alien girls looked at him. 1 with wings, one with glowing silver hair. Another with purple eyes that saw in 10 dimensions. They whispered to each other. He used logic. He didn't panic. He solved the death puzzle yesterday. Aiden stood and left early. He didn't like attention. As he walked back to his room, a soft voice called behind him, "You're different." He turned. It was an alien girl. Tall, with smooth green skin and eyes like gold stars. "I'm Celia," she said. "I'm Aiden." "I know," she smiled. "We all know." There was a strange silence. Then she asked softly, "Do humans dream?" He nodded. "Yes. Every night." She looked amazed. "We stopped dreaming centuries ago." And with that, she walked away. Aiden stood frozen. What did she mean? That night, Aiden couldn't sleep. His tablet kept blinking. A new message appeared. It had no sender. They are watching you. They knew you would win today. The test was not about fighting. It was about awakening. Aiden stared at the screen. Awakening? Then, the message deleted itself. Far above, in the control room, the alien headmaster watched Aiden's file. He's adapting too fast, she said. Another voice replied, deep and slow. Just like we feared, the prophecy may be true. The headmaster whispered, he shouldn't have survived day one. The voice answered, but he did. Every university has bullies. But at Galactic's Prime, bullies don't just hurt feelings. They kill. It began with a message. No name. No face, just glowing red text on Aiden's tablet. You are invited to the honor duel. Show up. Or be marked. A coward forever. Aiden stared at the screen. His heart dropped. He knew what this meant. An honor duel was legal at Galactic's Prime. A public fight. A test of strength, speed, or skill. If you refused, your name was blacklisted. No one would team with you, help you, or even talk to you. But if you lost the duel, you might not walk away. He didn't sign up. Someone forced it. He had 12 hours to prepare. Later that night, Aiden sat alone in his dark room. A map of the battle arena blinked on his screen. It looked like a jungle, full of alien plants, traps, and wild creatures. He whispered to himself, I can't fight like them, but I can think better. And he began to plan. The next morning, the arena lights glowed. Alien students filled the stands, cheering loudly. Betting screens floated in the air. 100 credits on Clornek. The human won't last a minute. Aiden stood at the gate, wearing only a simple shield belt and a scanner glove. He looked calm, but his heart was pounding like thunder. From the other gate came Clornek, a massive alien warrior, 10 feet tall, half stone, half steel. His eyes burned like fire. He laughed when he saw Aiden. This won't be a fight, Clornek said. It will be a message. The gate opened. The jungle roared. Aiden ran. Not from fear, but by plan. He had studied the map. He knew where the unstable vines were, where the mud pits could slow his enemy. Clornek chased him, breaking trees like twigs. Aiden threw a sonic orb behind him. It exploded with sound, confusing Clornek's radar senses. He didn't need to be stronger. He just needed to stay one step ahead. But Clornek was angry now. He roared and jumped across a river, landing just behind Aiden. His massive arm swung, and Aiden's shield belt shattered. Aiden hit the ground hard. The crowd gasped. Clornek raised his claws. It ends now. Human. But Aiden smiled. He tapped his glove. Beep. A trapdoor under Clornek's feet opened, hidden under leaves. Aiden had hacked it before the match. Clornek fell into a deep pit, filled with vines that wrapped around his limbs. Match over. Winner. Aiden. Silence. Then, cheers. Even the robots blinked in surprise. Later, back in the hallways, alien students stared at Aiden differently. No longer with laughter. Now, with fear. And curiosity. An alien girl named Nyrix, tall with glowing feathers, walked up to him. You planned everything, she said. Aiden nodded. I watched the cameras, she whispered. That trapdoor wasn't part of the arena. You hacked the field. He stayed quiet. You're dangerous, she said, smiling slightly. I like that. But not everyone was happy. Far above, the headmaster met with a council of elder aliens. He was supposed to lose, one growled. He was bait, said another. The prophecy said he'd die before awakening. The headmaster frowned. He's not just surviving. He's learning. A screen blinked open, showing Aiden sitting in his room, sketching strange symbols. His mind was unlocking faster than expected. That night, Aiden found a hidden file on his tablet. Project Human, Omega Class Subject Aiden, status, activation. In progress. He stared at the screen. Activation? He whispered. What am I? The lights in his room flickered. Suddenly, a quiet voice spoke from behind him. You don't know yet. But you will. Aiden turned. An alien girl stood at his door, not a student. She wore black robes and had eyes like galaxies. She was calm, serious, and strange. Who are you? He asked. She said nothing, and handed him a small crystal. Cube. Inside it, a hologram of Earth, burning. Your world is in danger, Aiden, she said softly. And so are you. Then she vanished. He didn't notice it at first, the way they looked at him. The alien girls. At first, it was just curiosity. Then it became something else. Something. Stronger. Aiden was in the library. Not a normal library. This one floated in space, with books that read themselves, and memory pods that showed full 3D worlds when you closed your eyes. He was studying alien history, trying to understand why humans were seen as weak, why Earth was ignored in galactic politics. He was alone at his table. Or so he thought. Behind the glowing shelves, a pair of violet eyes watched him, then another, and another. 3 alien girls, each from different species, quietly followed him. One had golden skin like sunlight. Another had hair that flowed like water. The third had wings made of soft crystal. They whispered among themselves, "He's calm. Not like the others. I like the way he speaks. It's gentle. His scent is strange, but good." Aiden turned. They quickly disappeared behind the shelves. He frowned. Weird. Later, in class, Professor Xerax gave a strange lecture. Emotional logic, she said, pacing the room. The balance between feeling and thinking. No species in this galaxy has ever mastered both. She looked straight at Aiden. Except, maybe one. The class turned to him. Whispers started again. A tall girl from the frost planets raised her hand. "Professor, is it true human males release a scent when they feel emotions?" Xerax smiled. "Some studies say yes." More whispering. Aiden felt himself turn red. Why are they all so interested in me? In the hallway it got stranger. Aiden opened his locker. Inside was a glowing flower, rare, alien, and clearly a gift. No name. Then came another surprise. Celia, the green-skinned girl who once asked about dreams, appeared beside him. "You're making quite an impression," she said. He laughed nervously. "I guess. Do you know why?" "No." She stared at him for a long moment. "Because you feel, you care, you're different from us. And our bodies respond to that." "What do you mean?" She hesitated, then leaned closer. "We're not just drawn to you because you're human, Aiden. We're drawn to you because you were designed for this." He stepped back. "Designed? What are you talking about?" Celia looked scared. "I've said too much. Just be careful. You're waking something ancient." She walked away, disappearing into the crowd. That night, Aiden couldn't sleep. He sat at his desk, watching the stars outside his window. He thought about the strange behavior, the eyes, the gifts, the way they looked at him like he wasn't a person, but something more. He tapped his tablet. The secret file from before was still there. Project Human, Omega designed with genetic attractors for cross-species sync. Result, Subject Aiden. Status, live trial. His hands froze. He whispered, "They didn't pick me because I was smart. They picked me because I could connect with them." He wasn't just a student. He was a test. Suddenly, the screen flickered. Another message appeared. No sender. Be careful who you trust. Attraction can become obsession, and obsession becomes danger. At that same moment, there was a knock at his door. He opened it. It was Nyrix, the feathered alien girl who had watched his duel earlier. Her eyes glowed in the dark. "I had to see you," she said. Aiden blinked. "At midnight? I can't stop thinking about you," she said softly. "I dream about you. That's not normal for my kind." She stepped closer. "I know I should leave, But something in me says stay. He froze. Behind her in the hallway, he saw two more girls standing quietly, waiting, watching. And then far at the end of the corridor, one of the male students stared at him with pure hate in his eyes. Far above, the headmaster looked at the rising data. Phase 2 is beginning, she said. He is activating attraction protocols in nearly 40% of compatible species. Another scientist frowned. It's too fast. If we don't stop it, it will spread. Back in his room, Aiden closed the door slowly. His mind raced. He wasn't sure if what he felt was fear or something else. Something deeper. He was changing. They were changing. And none of it was an accident. Before the attack, the school was quiet. Too quiet. Like the universe was holding its breath, waiting for something to break. Aiden felt it the moment he woke up. Something had changed. The walls of his room felt colder. The stars outside his window didn't look peaceful anymore. Even the air smelled strange, sharp, like metal. He checked his tablet. No new messages. No warnings. But something in his body said, danger, close. He got dressed, picked up his scanner glove, and stepped into the hallway. It was empty. No laughter. No footsteps. Just silence. And then, he noticed it. All the doors on his floor were locked from the outside, except his. As he walked toward the lift, a strange fog started to fill the hall. Gas. He ran, fast, but the lift didn't work. Locked. Behind him, he heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, metallic. He turned and froze. It was a group of students. 4 of them, all male. All armed with stun rods and body armor. Aiden recognized them. They were always watching him, whispering. Angry, jealous. Klarnik was among them, the one he had defeated in the honor duel. You don't belong here, human, Klarnik growled. We warned the council. Another said, you're making our girls act strange. Our minds aren't safe anymore. You're a threat, said the third. So now you disappear. Aiden didn't wait. He bolted for the side corridor, activating his glove to open the maintenance hatch. The attack began. Electric charges flew past him, burning holes in the wall. He dove into a tunnel and crawled through pitch-black tubes. Every second felt like a year. Above him, alien voices echoed. Trap him. No witnesses. Aiden emerged into the wilderness dome, a simulation zone filled with alien jungle. It was dark. The light kept flickering. He ran deep into the forest simulation, hiding under strange glowing trees. His tablet had low battery. His heart was shaking. He knew this wasn't a duel. This was a kill order. He had no weapons, no backup, no one to trust. Suddenly, a shadow moved. He turned, ready to run again, but a voice whispered, Aiden, get down. A stun blast flew past his head. Then, a flash of silver hair. Celia. She fired back with a plasma disc, forcing 2 attackers to fall back. She pulled Aiden behind a tree. They're trying to erase you, she said. This is bigger than jealousy. Aiden looked at her. Why are you helping me? She paused. Because I feel what the others feel. I'm drawn to you, but I can control it. She held out a crystal cube. This was hidden in the archives. It's about you. The cube opened. A hologram appeared, a secret lab. Alien scientists mixing human DNA with something ancient and powerful. Subject 17, human mind hybrid. Emotional logic sync complete. Female response, high. Risk level, extreme. If bonds form too fast, destruction possible. Aiden couldn't breathe. He whispered, I was made to control them? Celia shook her head. No, not control, connect. But someone doesn't want that, she added. They want the experiment to end. Just then, an explosion shook the dome. They were closing in. Celia took his hand. We need to run. They escaped into an old tunnel system under the dome. filled with dust and echoing hums. Aiden used his scanner to block heat signatures behind them. As they reached a locked vault door, Celia stopped him. "You need to see something." "First," she said. She placed her palm on a panel. It opened a hidden room. Inside, dozens of files on Earth, videos, maps, human DNA samples. Aiden walked in, speechless. "This was not just about you," Celia whispered. "They've been studying your planet for centuries, preparing for something." Then her eyes darkened, and now someone is coming for it. Back in the jungle dome, Klonek stood over the damaged trees. "They escaped," he growled. His communicator buzzed. A voice answered. Not a student, not a teacher, a voice from far, far above. "No matter. Phase 3 begins now. Initiate Earth Threat Protocol." Meanwhile, Aiden sat in the secret room, staring at the files. A single word kept repeating in the files. "Catalyst." He whispered. "What does that mean?" Celia answered. "You were never meant to just survive here. You were meant to change everything." He was not the strongest, not the fastest, not even the smartest. But he was the one they feared the most. Because Aiden was not here to pass tests. He was here to change everything. And now, the truth was waking up inside him. The secret room was silent. Old, dusty, hidden for years under the university. The walls were covered in holographic maps, blinking DNA strands, and strange alien symbols that pulsed when Aiden walked near them. Celia stood by the console, watching him. Her hands were shaking. She had never broken this deep into the system before. But Aiden? The systems opened for him like they were waiting. Files unlocked. Doors clicked open. Lights responded to his thoughts. Something ancient inside this place recognized him. One screen played a video. A secret log. An alien scientist spoke in a language now translated. Project Omega was never about power. It was about balance. Emotion plus logic. Human connection plus alien structure. If we can merge them, we can save the galaxy. Subject 17, Earth origin. Male, age 17, average strength. Unremarkable IQ, but shows rare brainwave harmony. Emotional pattern output, off the charts. Aiden stepped back. They picked me, not because I'm special, but because I'm human in a way others aren't. Celia watched him quietly. "Aiden," she said, "your kind feels more than any other species. But you also imagine, forgive, dream, even love." He looked at her. "And that's a threat?" She nodded. "To some. It's the greatest threat in the galaxy." Suddenly, the screen shifted. New footage. A hidden council meeting. Alien leaders arguing. The human is creating unstable bonds across species. Females are experiencing emotional effects, irrational behavior. If emotional logic spreads, we lose control of billions. Terminate the project before it spreads to the core worlds. Aiden clenched his fists. "I'm not spreading a virus," he said. "I'm just being myself. That's what terrifies them," Celia replied. "You're not a weapon. You're a mirror." Outside the secret room, alarms started to echo. The system had detected unauthorized access. Security drones were coming. But Aiden didn't move. He just stared at one last file. It was labeled, "Catalyst Protocol, Humanity's True Role." He opened it. The words were simple. "When the galaxy begins to decay, send the spark. Let them feel again. Let them remember what they forgot. Let a human lead the next era." Celia whispered, "You weren't chosen by accident, Aiden." He looked at her, voice soft. "Then why me?" She stepped closer. "Because they knew the galaxy would fall asleep. They knew power without feeling is empty. You were sent not to fight them." She touched his chest, "but to wake them." Suddenly, the door exploded. Security bots stormed in. Red lights flashing. Klonek followed, armed and furious. "Step away from the file," he shouted. But Aiden didn't move. This time. He didn't run. He raised his hand, his scanner glove. Pulsed, but something else did too. The room glowed around him. Panels lit up. Machines shut down. Even Klarnik's weapon melted in his hand. Everyone froze. "What did you do?" Klarnik yelled. Sely gasped. "You're syncing with the universities core," she whispered. "Aiden, it's listening to you." The lights formed words on the walls. "Protocol catalyst engaged. The human is awake." Far above, the headmaster stared at the alert. "It's too late," she said quietly. The council shouted around her, "Shut it down. Erase him." But she just watched the screen and smiled. Back in the lab, Aiden turned to Celia. "I know what I am now." He took a deep breath. "And I know what I have to do." It didn't feel like a school anymore. It felt like a battlefield waiting to happen. Walls whispered. Lights blinked faster. Students walked in silence, sensing something had changed. Because it had. A human had touched the core, and the galaxy would never be the same. Aiden stood on the university's tallest tower. The wind here was fake, made by machines. But the stars above were real. He stared at them. Not with fear this time. Not with confusion, but with purpose. Behind him, Celia approached quietly. "You're not just a student anymore," she said. Aiden didn't look back. "I'm not sure I ever was." She stepped beside him. "The university has activated Catalyst Protocol. That means the council sees you as more than a risk." Aiden finally turned to her. "They see me as a weapon." Down below, protests had started. Alien students, especially females, were gathering. Some carried signs. Some stood in silence. Others carried weapons. "Let the humans speak. End emotional suppression. We dream again." Klarnik and other traditionalists pushed back. "End the experiment. No more Earth viruses. Protect our species." The school was splitting in two. Inside the council chamber, chaos ruled. "This is not just about the human anymore," a council member shouted. "The females across 3 sectors are emotionally syncing with his signal." Another warned. "Even AI networks are behaving strangely around him." But the headmaster stayed quiet, watching, waiting. Aiden walked into the council hall. Alarms went off. Guards raised weapons. He didn't flinch. He just said 4 words. "Let me speak, now." Silence. Then the headmaster raised her hand. "Let him." Aiden stood in the center. He looked tired, young, but powerful. Like a storm inside a calm sky. "I didn't ask for any of this," he said. "I didn't ask to be chosen or modified or tested, but I understand now why I'm here." He looked around the room. "You've ruled this galaxy with logic, with strength, with cold reason. But you forgot the one thing that holds life together." He tapped his chest, feeling. "You call it weakness," he continued. "But it's not. Feeling is why we protect each other, why we forgive, why we create, why we love. And that's why you fear me." Celia appeared behind him. Others joined, alien girls from different species. Standing with him. "You think I'm changing your people," he said. "But I'm not. I'm reminding them who they used to be." Klarnik shouted. "He's starting a rebellion." But the headmaster stood and smiled. "No," she said. "He's starting a future." Aiden's tablet buzzed. A signal from Earth. A voice message from home. Incoming fleet. Earth ambassador arriving. Code, Omega Final. A ship was coming. From Earth. Not for rescue, but for alliance. Celia turned to Aiden. "They'll want you to lead." He looked at her. "I'm not a leader. You are now." Outside, the stars moved. A portal opened. Earth's ship arrived. From it stepped a girl, human, confident, curious. Her eyes met Aiden's from across the landing bay. She smiled. "You're not the only one anymore." Aiden smiled back. The future was no longer a mystery, it was a choice. And he had made it. Not to destroy the galaxy, not to rule it, but to wake it up.